I mean, we talked about the process and the highs and the lows and the hope and the despair. And it didn't have to be a perfect journey for me to get home.
Right.
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 But it just simply was the journey. It was the process.
Yeah.
Welcome back to In Residence. I'm Keith.
And I'm Laura.
Hey, Laura.
Hey, Keith.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing swell? All right. We're going to get into what you've been up to this week, or what we've been up to, because you have done kind of some new things.
Yeah, I have.
I mean, you went on a work trip, which isn't new.
Nope, I did though.
So you went to a conference to New Orleans, which you've been to.
Right, went to New Orleans.
But you haven't gone to this conference before.
Right. It was a new conference for me.
Yep.
Really good conference.
Yeah. But then the other thing that's a new thing that you probably don't want to talk about too much is you've reached the milestone for this first to happen. Mm-hmm. And your reward was
pizza.
After that, yeah, I guess that was your reward.
I'm trying to think where you're going with it.
You got to get a colonoscopy.
Yeah.
That was your reward for making it this far, is what I meant.
Oh, I thought you were teeing me up for.
You get to have this health screening.
I thought no.
Yes, your reward for being a brave girl was we went and had pizza.
Yes.
Well, you got a calzone.
I had a calzone after. Mm-hmm. Yep.
So anyway, we figured we should talk about it just because it's important to take care of our health, right? We talk about that quite a bit. And the more we talk about it, the more people might not be delaying it if they're supposed to be doing it, right? So
yeah, and I think that's an important thing. I know when we were talking about today and what we were going to talk about and different things, I said, well, I did have a journey. I had my first colonoscopy. Not that I want to talk about that on the podcast. Yeah. And then you and I both kind of thought, well, we don't have to talk about it, but we can say it was something that happened because, like you said, I think it is important for people to know that it isn't that big of a deal. It's a really important health screening. And when you do reach a certain age, you're encouraged, and I encourage you too, to go and take care of that.
Yeah.
I didn't remember a darn thing, and that is exactly how I wanted it. So
yeah. Well, and so I happen to have like my wellness check or whatever.
Right.
Also, which I'm like, oh, that's a funny coincidence. But like, I thought I was just going in to get like my seasonal shots, and then I ended up needing my tetanus, which is good because.
Oh, you needed your tetanus?
Yeah, it's been
that long?
10 years,
so
I guess.
Had it. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I was thinking about the other day because I was touching up some paint, and I went and found the old paint cans, which are from like when I built the basement.
Yeah.
And I was trying to open them, and they were like stuck together and kind of rusty. Oh. And I was like, oh, when's the last time I got my tetanus shot? I'm like, okay, I'm going to go grab pliers. I'm not going to use the screwdriver in my hand. I'm going to use pliers and a screwdriver. And then I went in, and they're like, oh yeah, you're due for that too. And I'm like, I was wondering about that. Like, I definitely don't want to get like a rusty scratch, you know?
No, not at all.
But so then so I've got anxiety, and I have anxiety about going to the doctor a little bit too. Yeah. And apparently that's a thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think you're alone in that.
Well, he's like, oh, that's called this. I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember. I'll have to Google it. I'm like, okay, so I was feeling great up until I woke up in the morning, and they canceled my appointment.
Oh, that's right. You messaged and you said, my appointment got canceled.
So then you message back, you're like, oh, we'll just give them a call. And as you messaged me that, I said, I'll just have to give them a call.
Which is also something you don't love doing.
I don't like calling to make appointments. Hence us talking about making appointments for our health, right? It's important. It's not that I don't like talking to the doctor necessarily, but I think it's more of, I don't want to get bad news. I don't want to have high blood pressure, which I kind of have,
right?
That we're finding out. And I know it's about my weight, but it's also part of the anxiety. So my appointment got pushed, and I got in that day, but like it late in the afternoon. So then I had all day to think about it. Like,
Oh,
one, I was avoiding thinking about it by keeping myself busy.
okay.
But then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I need to get ready because I have to go. So then I was like moving, and then I was noticing like I was getting a little anxious about it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, great. Now my blood pressure is going to, like, my heart rate's
Yeah.
going to be up, you know?
Yeah.
And it was. And I told him, I'm like, you know, I'm a little anxious about it. I'm anxious about it being high. I'm anxious about just being here in general because, you know I'm overweight. Now I got to talk about it.
Yeah.
And most doctors nowadays, they know. Like, they know we know. And
Sure,
if it was
of
easy,
course.
we would do something about it, right?
Sure.
So-
Exactly.
So it was all good. Good experience. And then, since I probably avoid going to the doctor more than I ought to, it was like, oh yeah, and you need to be hitting like these things you need to do because it's recommended by the government now. So once in your life, you need to get checked for hepatitis C, HIV, you know, stuff like that. And then they're like, oh, we're going to do your cholesterol and what's the other one? A1C. Yeah. Yep. So that's like for diabetes and stuff. Yep. And then I'm like, oh, great. I'm going to find out I have diabetes or something, you know? So then I'm a little worked up about that. And so I got 3 shots, and then they had trouble finding a vein when I went to the lab work.
Oh,
because I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, you know, I'm pudgy. And she's like, no, it's probably because you're dehydrated. And I'm like, oh, another fail. Like,
oh no.
It's the other thing we talked about.
You were really being hard on yourself.
We've been talking about this since you've known me. I need to hydrate. I don't drink enough water.
Yeah.
I mean, it's LaCroix water.
I think you have a LaCroix over there.
I got one here. I got one hiding back here too.
Okay.
This one's got a little caffeine in it though.
Okay.
Because like I don't do soda really anymore.
Yeah.
But just regular tap water, right? Filtered tap water. I need to have a little more of that. And so I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. And she's like, no, she's like, no one else is here, so I got to figure it out. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, you can tighten that band if you need to, like to make them.
No.
Like, I didn't say that out loud, but I was thinking that.
Yeah.
So she found it. And like, I'm kind of squeamish. Like, I don't like scary movies. Like, and I don't really like blood. Like, if something actually goes down, like I'll step in and I'll help. Right. And I'll get through it. But I was like looking away, and I was just like, and they're like, you okay? I'm like, yep. I'm like, and then like when they're poking me, I'm like, I'm a little vocal, so I'm just going to kind of grunt a little, and it's just so I can breathe through it, you know? So
I can only imagine.
I was vocalizing, and I was advocating for myself just by saying like, I'm not freaking out too much, but I'm going to get through it with these coping mechanisms kind of thing. So anyway, then what I didn't quite realize, so I was going to get the test results back. And I didn't realize, because I don't get these tests all the time. Yeah. I had eaten like an hour before I went, and they were going to do blood work. I didn't and nobody told me not to eat, but like these types of like cholesterol and like the A1C or whatever, I think you're supposed to be fasted. Sure. And so like my cholesterol was just in the normal range, and same with like my triglycerides, because I had eggs. I love breakfast food. Yeah. So anyway, I had a bit of a health journey where I'm like, oh great, I'm dehydrated. I ate fatty food, which, you know, like higher in saturated fat and stuff, and I'm like, and then they're testing whether or not I have like these things that like lead to these things, and anyway, everything's okay. Yeah. But it's just a little reminder of like, okay, I can do better. Yeah. So I guess it sounds like my health journey was a little more dramatic than yours, and you had the actual procedure. Yeah, that's interesting. I will say it was all new, like the prep, and people are right. The prep was probably that was a wild ride. That was a wild ride, I will say. But the one thing that definitely surprised me is I got there and I had to go to the lab too, and no one told me why. And so I just assumed, I'm like, okay, this is just typical. I've never had one of these done before. Yeah. And I had to pee in a cup, and I was like, okay, well, maybe it's for liver enzymes or something. Like, I'm not quite sure, kidney. And before going in, the anesthesiologist came and said, so your pregnancy test, what was the result? And I go, is that what I did in the lab? Yeah. And he goes, well, I think so. And I go, you're like, oh. I'm like, I don't know. No one told me. Yeah. I just did what I was told.
And so, yeah, they had to go and check on it, and yeah, not pregnant.
Yeah.
But
I think you told me like I told them I'd have some explaining to do if it was the other way
Yes.
around. I'm like, oh yeah.
Like, I think I'd have some explaining to do.
Yeah, there was some family planning involved where that probably isn't going to happen.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. So I was just a little surprised about that as a perimenopausal. I know that you still can get pregnant, but
Right.
you know, it would be extremely difficult,
Yeah.
I think, at this stage in our situation.
Yeah.
So anyway, but yeah, I hear you when you're talking about that anticipation and kind of the unknown of what is this going to be like, and knowing that people are really supportive and saying it's going to be okay. I've been through this. It's not a big deal. You won't remember anything. But even though you have all those pieces, or even like with you, I'm sure you had a voice in your head saying, it's going to be okay. This is typical. They take your blood pressure. They do labs. Laura had to also, was tested for these too, because it's a public health thing they're pushing right now.
Right.
There's always that voice of, but what if? You don't quite know what your journey is going to be until you take the journey yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. It's always a process, and I don't know, like I want to be the person that can learn from other people's example, right? And like, oh, so and so did it, so I can do it too. And it's not always as easy as you want it to be.
Yeah.
Like once you're the one in the hot seat, or it's on you, like, or it's like, when I'm talking to you about, like, you're like, oh, what do you think of A or B? Or, what should I do in this situation?
Yeah.
I'm like, I always tell you, oh, I'm really good at giving you advice on what you should do. But if I was in your position, I guess I would probably be having a bunch of other feelings and thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
So take everything I'm saying with a pinch of salt. Like, I'm removed from the situation.
Right.
Therefore, I can respond in a certain way. And like we said before, when you're in it, sometimes you're a little more reactive, or you have a little more noise with the signal, and it's usually coming from within. But also sometimes too much outside counsel is kind of like, oh, okay, this isn't helpful anymore. Like that's like me learning and researching. That's me slowing myself down and putting up roadblocks by, I think I'm doing my due diligence, but what I'm really doing is probably stalling.
Right.
And there's no lack of answers out there, but is the information going to help me get to where I want to go, kind of thing. So anyway,
I mean, even to bring it back to the prep, one of the things that you need to do, or I needed to do, I think every doctor might do it differently, slightly, but no red liquid. So on a liquid diet the whole day before.
Oh, right.
And no red liquids and no purple liquids. So I had bought an orange because I like orange Gatorade. I like orange Jello. I'm like, oh, I'm going to rock this. I like orange flavored things, and this is going to be fantastic. Well, before I had to start that, I was reading on the internet and doing research and thinking, and I started getting into my head of, they said red, but orange is partially red. If I remember my kindergarten palette days, and you mix red with yellow and you get the orange. So is it really red, but just removed once? And so I was spinning, and our refrigerator was full of orange colored things.
Yeah.
Jello, Gatorade.
We have so much Gatorade in the fridge still.
I know.
You went in like prepper mode.
I did.
I'm like, it's one day. Like, you can't drink this much in one day.
No, I couldn't. But the problem was I had gotten the color that I thought might be possibly wrong, and it was a Sunday.
And then you had to go.
And so then I went and got yellow, and I found this yellow Jello that was actually really good. It was Pineapple Dream Jello. So shout out to Jello in the Jello aisle. I got to have something other than lemon lime. No, but I was sitting there going, gosh, all I have right now is lime, lemon, 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 lemon.
Yeah.
And to have a little pineapple in my day. Few Werther's Originals, by the way, fantastic.
You're having hard candies.
And Gatorades.
Yeah.
A little chicken broth.
Yeah.
Anyway, but But to that point of you saying that you can research all you want, but then sometimes you get into this, you didn't say spin, but I kind of spun down into oh gosh, I have to run to the store and buy all the things that aren't red adjacent.
Yeah. Yeah. That gets a little bit into I guess the anxiety, and then like the way you counter that is by preparing, and the worry and the trying to make sure that you account for all things that might happen, right? And that's and like we've seen that from you. Like we know that's one of your tendencies is
over planning sometimes.
Well, yeah, but like you over plan and you go into action and you actually collect the rations, whereas I simply spin and ruminate.
Yeah.
And it takes even more effort for me to go into action to act on those thoughts I'm having. Whereas you're just like, okay, I'm running to the store again and I'm getting this, and or that's why we have a cheese tray at this party, because the 6 things that you already made weren't enough. We got to make sure we have a cheese tray.
Because so-and-so might not eat those 4 things.
Right. And okay, maybe somebody doesn't want cheese. Well, we better do a veggie tray. And then it's like, oh, we probably need some fruit, and so
I'm a hostess with the mostest.
Exactly. Like I think it serves you and others well most of the time.
Yeah, I think so.
Being able to see when, okay, maybe this is getting into a little overkill, being able to reel it back in. And for me, like when it's going to the doctor, it is like you said, calming down, taking a breath, and being like, okay, everybody does this. Most people go. Mm-hmm. It's a routine thing. Like they've all went to school for years to guide me through this process, and and then just knowing like, oh, if I have a question, I simply ask.
Yeah.
And for me, the biggest thing is like they'll be like, "You have any questions?" I'm like, "No."
Well,
and then you leave. Then you leave, and I'm like, "I don't know."
You're like, "Oh, my shoulder's sore." I'm like, "Did you ask the doctor yesterday?"
I forgot.
You're like, I didn't. I forgot.
Because it only hurts at certain times.
Yeah.
And that's just my silly mentality, I guess, of I don't pay attention to it unless it's painful, which I guess to wrap up maybe this section, the whole point of going to these appointments and making them, even though it's not fun scheduling it and calling back when they cancel, and it's less painful if you're proactive.
Yeah.
And hopefully if something isn't going well that you're not aware of, they catch it early, right? And like if any of my levels or whatever were off with my blood work, they catch it early. And if the blood pressure doesn't come down like the way that I'm going to go about it over the next 6 months, it's like we're going to have to do like an intervention, because my body doesn't need to be working as hard to compensate while I'm on my way on my health journey of getting to where I want to be, kind of thing. So yeah.
And then with the colonoscopy, right? If you have polyps, they can remove them. And I found out that they do a little tattoo inside you to show where they were. So that's kind of a fun little thing I learned through this process. A little hardcore.
Very hardcore.
It made me laugh. I will say.
I'm definitely not tattooed there.
No. So there was like this small little prep room in the back, and you were going back and forth. Do I go in like the surgery waiting lobby, or do I come with Laura? And they said, oh, it's a really small room. And so I was just there by myself, and I'm like, I just learned I might get tattooed on the inside. That's interesting. Like, where's Keith? I want to tell him.
Yeah, but that's pretty awesome.
I got to tell you pretty quickly afterwards.
That's pretty good.
After the procedure, but
that's definitely not something I expected to hear.
me either. But I learned it.
Yeah.
Right? So.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I will say just from that too, if you're due for a colonoscopy and you haven't gotten it, go ahead, go get it. It is important for your health. And I survived it. I believe that you can too.
Nice.
Yeah. Just a shout out. Take care of your health.
Yeah.
It's important.
So you got back late last night.
Yes.
Later.
Or early this morning, depending on what you want to say.
Very true. You got back early this morning. Tell us a little bit about that epic journey.
That. Yeah. So I was in New Orleans for the work conference, as you mentioned, and I had my flight. My flight was what? Supposed to leave around like 5. I think it was 5, 4, 4, 5, something like that. And I got to the airport super early, like 3 hours ahead of time, I think. So I got checked in and I was all set. I got to enjoy a meal at Emerald Lagasse's Emerald's Table. So had a beautiful salad and some killer bread pudding.
I thought it was a steak at first.
It was huge.
I was like, that is a huge like cut of something. And then I saw that there was like a spoon going into it. I'm like, oh, wait. I'm like, oh, she's having dessert.
Oh, man. I was like, well, if I get a Cobb salad, maybe I can pair it with a yummy piece of bread pudding.
Well, from watching any of his shows years ago, I would definitely want to try one of his desserts from his place.
It was really good.
Yeah.
It was a really good decision. I couldn't finish it all, but it was a really good decision.
Yeah.
And you know me, I'm a sucker for bread pudding. I beg you to make it all the time.
Yeah. I'll have to do that again.
You should. It's really good.
I used to make it all the time in the kitchen.
Yeah. Love bread pudding. So I had a nice meal, and my first flight, it kept saying, oh, it's on time. And I was right by the gate, and I thought, not a big deal. Then I got a quick little, it's 15 minutes delayed. I was like, oh, shoot. I'm like, well, I'm here. I got a table. It's fine. I can see the gate from where I'm at. So it went from waiting and calm and just kind of relaxing to all of a sudden kind of out of the ordinary hectic.
How did it get hectic?
So, okay. So we're waiting at the gate, right? And the gate agents said, okay, we are going to board this plane when it gets in. They're going to get off. We're going to clean it. And we're going to get you on as fast as possible because we need to get out of New Orleans. Otherwise, we won't be able to.
Oh, geez.
And we're like, okay. And so to have a full plane of people try and be orderly is not necessarily something that always happens. But to our credit, we did it. We got on that plane. We were all sitting down. We were ready to leave. And then we got the pilot overhead that said, well, folks, we have a ground order right now where we're going to stay on the ground for about an hour and a half until we can go to Dallas. And I mean, I really don't like connecting flights.
Because there was a storm.
Yes,
right?
There was a storm.
There we go.
So there's a ground order because there was a storm. Granted, I don't want to fly in a storm. It sounded like it was a bad storm.
Didn't look good. Once you told me, I was like, oh, what's going on down there? And I was like, I'm like, she might not make it to Dallas.
Yeah. It wasn't even raining outside the plane window that we were sitting at the gate in. But
you were going to be flying through it.
Yeah, and you don't want to fly through that.
No.
Yes. So we sat at the gate probably a good, what was it? Hour and a half, 2 hours, just sitting there. And then we were able to back up, which was good. But they said, okay, so now everything's been grounded in Dallas, in New Orleans, and we have to now have a plan for who's going to take off when and who's going to get to land and when. And so we were able to take off fairly early, which was good, but they mapped us around. So our flight was only supposed to be like an hour. And they mapped us to the point where it was like an hour and a half, hour and 40 minutes.
Yeah.
And at the time, I thought, this isn't a big deal. My flight in Dallas doesn't leave now until 9:45. It's fine. It is 7 right now. We're going to be able to get there, land. I'll make a expedient walk.
Right.
Not like I wasn't feeling like I'd have to run.
Yeah.
But a pretty quick walk. I'd have about an hour to make that. I'm like, I can do that. Well, by the time we landed, the hour padding was 15 minutes.
Yeah. How long? You're like, we landed. I'm like, oh, good.
Yeah.
And I'm like, get to your gate and run. And you're like, oh, we're stuck in a line of 40 planes trying to deplane. Like, we're waiting for a gate. And I'm like, oh, no.
Yeah. No. And so we were just sitting, because the pilot said, okay, and when we get on the ground, it'll be 10 minutes to the gate. And then you'll be going. So I was timing it on my watch. I'm like, okay, so if it's 9:45, then it's going to be okay still. But then that flight kept switching its departure time to 9:15,
It bumped it up
9:20.
earlier, right?
It did.
And I was like, no way. I'm like,
It
there's no
definitely
way.
did.
And then I looked, I'm like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I might not see it till tomorrow.
Right. And I was sitting there going, okay, so pilot says it was going to be 10 to 15 minutes. When we got on the ground, we just sat. And then he shared, like you said, well, folks, we're actually in a line of 40 other planes that are on the ground now that have no gate assigned. So then I'm sitting going, gosh, there's no way I'm going to make this.
Right.
Unless my flight is one of the 40 as well. But the question is, are they ahead of us in gate assignment or behind us?
Right.
And will that difference give me enough time when we both deplane to go from terminal C to A with little tram and stuff? So we must have gotten to the gate first because we got off the plane. I booked it, ran up the elevator, got the tram, got to the gate, ran into the gate area, and everyone was sitting there all chill. And I'm like, clearly they're not as stressed as I am. They've just been waiting for the flight, from Dallas to leave.
Right. Because they're there.
Because they're there.
But you were on a plane
Yes.
with some high tensions, maybe?
Oh, yeah. There was F-bombs flying, and there was somebody that wouldn't sit down because...
And you can't taxi if people aren't in the seats.
Well, and to the pilot's credit, he was really kind and trying to make sure that we had everything we needed, right? So when he knew we were just going to be sitting on the tarmac for a while, he said, you know what, folks, I'm going to turn on the lights. If you need a bathroom, I know you've been sitting for like 3-4 hours. You can get up, use the restroom. And then if we need to move, we'll just need to sit down, and that's how we'll do this. And so people were up in line waiting for the restroom, and we were able to move again. And so everyone sat down for the most part, except one person was in their seat standing up, and they would not sit down. And the flight attendant said, okay, everyone, please sit down. And they must have said it 3-4 times. And there was somebody that was not sitting down.
Because they had to keep saying it.
Because they had to keep saying it.
Yeah.
And the whole plane, there must have been, 15 people were like, sit down. Like they were yelling at this person. A few more colorful versions of that.
Yeah, yeah.
And I thought, oh gosh, not everyone, a lot of people were like,
they're stressed. Yeah.
Stressed out. I want to get to the gate. I'm going to miss my connection flight. And by that time it was 9:30 at night. So there's nothing else after your connection.
Yeah.
You're staying in Dallas.
Yeah.
So a lot of people had a lot riding on getting to the gate and their ability to book it.
Yeah. So like I could read the stress that you were feeling about missing your connection.
Yeah, I did not want to miss it.
And I was removed enough to kind of think, I'm like, well, Laura likes to travel. She's up for adventure. And so I was kind of like, it'll be okay. And like, yeah, just run to your gate when you get there, and I was just kind of like, worst thing that happens is I'll just see her a little less Sunday.
Yeah.
Like they'll get her a hotel, she'll figure it out. But I'm removed. I'm not, the only emotion I have is I want to see you.
Yeah.
The only thing I'm just like,
I want to see you too.
Right. No, I know. But I was just like, she'll be fine. She'll make a little adventure of it. I was kind of like resigned to the fact of like, I'm probably not going to see her.
Yeah.
Because you didn't get home until like 1:30.
Right.
Because it's a ways to drive from the airport to our house.
Yeah.
But like we talked on the phone on your way back. But
yeah, which is nice.
But so since you were actually living this thing that I was distanced from, even though I was texting you whenever you were on the delays, were you kind of thinking like, oh yeah, I'm going to get stuck here? Or were you really holding on to the fact of like, I have to make this flight? Like how, like I'm just wondering where your head was at.
Oh, it was all over the place. I think there was a moment too, I texted you and I was like, I am so stressed out.
Yeah.
Or I can't right now. Like, I can't talk about it.
Yeah.
Because I kept redoing the scenario in my head. Like the amount of time we were sitting at the gate and not in the air in New Orleans. and the amount of time we were sitting on the tarmac and not moving.
Not getting to the terminal.
And not getting to a gate.
Yeah.
Those were the 2 times I kept scenario planning in my head of what if my connection flight moves up? What if my connection flight is also delayed?
Ooh.
What if the gate we get assigned isn't a terminal away? What if it's right next door? Then I might have more time. So I was constantly...
all that mental gymnastics.
Yes. I was constantly trying to figure out, how can I quickly do this? And do I stop at the ticketing desk right where I'm deplaning? Or do I run to the gate and stop there if I don't make it?
Right.
What are the odds? You know, so I was going, what if they don't put me up in a hotel? What if they've changed the rules and I have to sleep on one of the hard benches?
Yeah.
You know, I was just, or maybe I want to do that so I don't have to go through security and collect my bag.
Right.
You know, that was pretty exhausting of continuing to go through it. And I kept going from, I'm not going to make it, there's no way this is going to work out, to, well, if I can't believe that maybe it will just work out and do the things I need to do to put myself in the position, there's things that are out of my control. And there's things that I know that I can do. I can know, what does the airport map look like? And what is the fastest way to get from the gate you're going to arrive at to the gate you need to depart at? You already know how the tram system works because you did that on the way through, going to New Orleans from Minneapolis. But yeah, it was tiring to go back and forth between almost not resignment to I'm going to be here, but almost a little more despair.
Yeah.
That I'm probably going to be in a situation where, like, that despair.
You're not getting what you want, kind of.
Right.
In a way.
Where I'm like, all I want is to be able to be home, see the kids, see you, before I hop back into work. You know, this next week. Yeah, I kept going between hope and despair. Hope, like, oh, I'm going to make it.
Yeah.
If we're delayed, they're delayed. That's a healthy way to think about it. Put that into the universe. To, there's no way I'm going to make it.
Yeah.
There's no way. Everyone, you know. Yeah, it was. And when I ran into that lobby, like, I kid you not, I like came down the tram stairs and I hook left and I just ran into the grassy part with my little roller bag. I'm like, choo, choo, choo. Everyone's just like,
grassy part.
Oh, not grassy. Sorry. Carpeted part.
Okay. This is what I have to put up with, people.
Yes. Carpeted part. I was proud. I didn't even go around the pillar. I like saw the gate like right there. I'm like, it's right there. And I'm like, zoop. And everyone just was, they kind of like looked at me like, what?
It's like going into the towny bar at 6 o'clock or 6:30 when the wheel's on.
Oh yeah.
And
you're not a regular.
It's like record scratch. Everyone turns from their spot at the bar and like looks at you.
Yeah. And I mean,
like, why is this lady freaking out? What's her deal?
And I could tell that of course they didn't want their flight to be delayed either. And there was other people that were in probably a similar situation that either I didn't notice or came behind me. But yes, it was definitely that there's a dissonance between me and how I was feeling tension-wise and other people that were waiting for a typical delay.
So I kind of want your take on the way you showed up in that moment, because
Sure.
I mean, you were going between hope and despair. You said those were your words.
Yeah, I definitely was.
And I'm pretty sure you weren't one of the people on the plane yelling expletives, right? You didn't do that.
No.
Not out loud.
I didn't do that.
Not out loud.
No,
maybe
I didn't
in your head, maybe. So I'm wondering, why not?
Why wasn't I yelling expletives?
Yeah. I wouldn't either. Like, that's just not how I operate.
Yeah.
But if you're feeling something as strong as despair, and like you said, all you wanted was to be home with your family.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's why those other people were being that verbose. And this isn't me
Yeah.
trying to get you to talk about how great you are and how you don't swear, because like we both do. We just
Yeah.
tend to not do it on here very much.
Yeah.
Because then I either have to beep it out or mark it as explicit. I guess the question is trying to get at, like, how did you work through cycling between the hope and the potential despair, and having to navigate that with, and then not lashing out kind of thing. And
Mhm.
you didn't use your energy you didn't vocalize it in a negative way. I think you alluded to, like, you're making sure you knew the map of the airport
Yeah.
and
I was
figuring that
preparing.
stuff out, right? So
Yep.
I guess maybe I'm looking for like the tools that you maybe implemented without
Mhm.
noticing, so that maybe I can hold on to those also because like when I get in situations like I
Yeah.
said, when I was getting stuck with the needles and stuff, I was like, oh, like not that loud, but like I just want to make sure it picked up. But like, oh, and there's like the people were a little bit like, you okay? I'm like, yep. I'm like, and I just said, I've just got to vocalize, like, just because I'm like, the funny thing is like, I don't love needles. And that made the gal in the lab laugh, because
Yeah.
I got
Tattoos.
sleeves,
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, they're
bet.
different. It's different. This hurts.
Yeah.
Like, tattoos hurt too. But anyway, I don't know. I'm not trying to make a meal out of it. It's just, I don't know, like, your poise, I guess.
Yeah.
Even though you are feeling the same emotions as other people.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, one thing is I didn't think it would be helpful. Yeah, I didn't think it would be helpful because it wasn't in my control. That part wasn't in my control.
Adding that type of energy to the space, maybe. I get okay.
Yeah.
I guess what I just said was the opposite. Is like, I have to get this energy out, therefore I'm going to be guttural.
Yeah.
And like, I'm not trying to make this about like, oh, those people, I can't believe they swore and were out loud, but like those types of public outbursts, they kind of create a weird vibration, a weird energy, right? And it's kind of like, oh, it's off. To me, it's off-putting.
Yeah.
So I don't want to show up that way.
And I will say it might be different too. Say I was on the plane sitting next to you, or next to child 1 or child 2, or something. I might have been like, oh,
a little more vocal, because
maybe, but I was by myself, and I just,
So instead of vocalizing, I guess, how did you get through that?
how did I get through it?
Yeah.
Well, I tried to distract myself some.
I guess we were texting.
Yep. Like you and I were texting some. There was a point though when you're like, run, you can make it. And you're being all positive. I'm like, I'm not there.
Yeah.
I'm not there.
I think you either literally told me something to the effect of like, don't, that's not helpful. Or I picked up on it, because I was realizing like, oh, I need to not like cheer from the stands right now.
Yeah.
I need to be willing to receive whatever she's going to give me, because if I start texting you actively and engaging with you instead of responding, I might be bugging you while you're trying to listen to like the overhead call or something, or I didn't want to be another thing for you to have to deal with.
Yeah, there was a point where it felt like more pressure on me to figure out how to pull off what felt like a miracle. And so, I think I did text you where I didn't say that's not helpful, but I think I said,
no,
this is all stressing me out right now, and I just need to stop thinking about it.
Yeah.
Something to that effect.
Probably. Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, because you were spinning.
I was spinning.
Going back and forth. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how did you get to how did you slow yourself down or stop the ping ponging?
Yeah.
Or did it eventually you got off the plane?
Eventually I got off the plane. So I felt like I could act, but I did a couple things, and some helpful, some not. So I had been reading a book the entire time, and so I kept going back and going through the book and just saying, okay, just keep going. Right now, you don't have the ability to change. the situation. So just focus on your book, read the book. I was doing that when we were waiting on the tarmac or in the gate in New Orleans too. Read the book. I almost got it all done.
Right. That's
good.
come up a few times.
Right.
What's in your control?
What's in my control?
Nothing was in your control except for what can you do in this seat?
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
I can read this book. Or text Keith.
And I also had my earbuds or AirPods or
earbuds.
Earbuds.
Yep.
And was listening to music. So I was listening to Taylor Swift's new album.
Ooh.
It's really good.
Okay.
And then LP, one of my favorite LP albums. Yeah. So I had those just on repeat because they're positive and they're uplifting a little bit.
Yeah.
And so listening to good tunes, reading a book, texting with Keith. I did, and I don't know if this was helpful, but I did, especially when I had access to internet and things like that, kept checking the app to see my connection flight. And is it delayed? Is it still delayed? Did it land? Is it at the gate yet? So I was checking the status of, we're not at the gate yet. Is it at the gate yet? And if it's at the gate before we're at the gate, then I know it's going to be even tighter than I think.
Yeah.
So
yeah, getting as much information as you can,
right,
especially in that situation, is very helpful.
Yep.
Like I tend to talk about how I delay myself by looking for more information, but that is a good way for you to have details that will help calm you down because it's the uncertainty, right?
Yeah.
Because like you just got done being on a work trip, which is kind of an adventure, and you get to like lean into the possibility of what's
conference.
Yeah, like
fun city,
learning stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, real fun city that I really want to get to. I can't believe I still haven't gotten there with you.
Yeah, we haven't, have we?
I have not been there.
Oh, we should go. That would be fun.
I know. And so, like, that's like Laura at her best. Adventure, possibility. Hey, where are we going to go to dinner, right? Like, I love that. I know why you love traveling. It's because it's like, where do we get to go tonight kind of thing, like after all the work's done. Into now you're at to me, it's like the sibling of possibility is uncertainty.
Okay.
Right. The other side of the coin, which is kind of maybe where I live a little more.
Yeah.
With that feeling of, well, I don't know, how is this going to resolve itself?
Yeah.
I better figure out all I can so that I can answer that question. And so you looking at, back and forth at this app, refreshing. I can just imagine you pulling down and refresh. Like
it was. I would totally. I'm like, just read the book. You're not moving. Just read the book.
That's got to be one of the hardest things for me, is to not constantly try to like refresh and get updated. So yeah, what was in your control was, okay, finding those things that help calm and soothe, right?
Yep.
Especially, I guess that's what we talk about a lot. If like when you can't do something, it's like, okay, well, how am I going to alleviate that stress that comes with me not being able to execute?
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Especially you couldn't take any actions besides what was within like your 8 square feet,
Yeah. Yep.
Most of it vertical.
Yeah.
And
I'm just glad I wasn't in the middle seat.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, you had a window seat.
And actually, I will say, and it's the little things, but when I checked in, I always look at the seating chart to see if there's a better seat. And there was a seat in row 15 instead of row 30. And I was like, okay, so I took that one window seat. I was in a window seat in the back too. But I thought that could have made a difference if the other one wasn't delayed as much.
Yeah.
To be 15 rows ahead.
That's a lot of people, right? How many seats were there? 3 seats on each side?
Yep.
I don't even know the math.
60
I'm bad at the math.
Yeah.
3 times 15, 45 to 60 people probably.
Yeah, a lot of people.
Yeah.
So, but I will say it felt good. There hasn't been a lot of times where I've had to make that mad dash across the airport. And it felt kind of iconic because you had to go up this escalator to get on this little tram. And I got to the top and I was running up with my little carry roller spinner bag, up. and I rolled and I went right onto the tram and it shut its doors and it took off. I'm like, yeah, I just felt like,
You like jump up in the air and click
dun,
your
dun,
heels.
dun. Like it felt like very, and like busting into the lobby of like, I'm here, I'm ready.
Yeah.
I thought I'd be like running on, like you see in the movies of,
Yeah.
wait, don't close the door yet. I'm here, but I didn't have that part, but.
That's from back when you didn't actually need a ticket to get into the airport.
Yeah, that's true.
You could just go have lunch.
That's true. I did that all the time.
I think I did that with you once or twice.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah. My dad on, I can't remember, Saturday mornings growing up, he would take my sister and I to the Minneapolis airport. We'd go get McDonald's breakfast, the big breakfast with pancakes and different. No?
We grew up in a different economic class.
Okay. But you know what a McDonald's big breakfast is, don't you?
I didn't know until I met you.
Okay. Well, yeah, it's like pancakes and sausages or bacon or something and eggs. But we would go and have an orange juice and go and sit and watch the planes take off and land at the Minneapolis airport at the McDonald's. Just for funsies,
Yeah, something to do.
Yeah, something to do. Kind of fun.
Good times.
But can't do that anymore.
Nope.
Cannot do that anymore. But anyway, yeah.
Good stuff.
Great. Thanks for unpacking that with me. It's so recent. We talked a little bit about it, but I don't think you knew all of it.
No, like you got home and got cleaned up and we went to bed and
we needed a shower after that.
Yeah.
And like wash the airport off me. That was a lot.
And it was so late. Like that's like when I typically go to bed.
Yeah.
And so I didn't even like put my earbuds in.
Can I tell you one other thing that just brought me a little joy yesterday in an odd way? So, in Minneapolis, St. Paul, I was at the baggage claim area.
Mm.
And instead of like the rah, 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 they play like bird and loon calls.
Thought you were going to say Prince.
No, that would be really fantastic. But I was sitting there and all of a sudden I'm like, why is there a loon? Like, does somebody have it on their phone or what's, and it's like, the luggage is now coming or whatever they say. And it's like, coo, coo. It's like
Funny.
Frogs and birds and loons.
I like that.
I'm like, that's kind of a calming, but I just didn't see it coming. So
What I thought you were going to say was that your bag was like the fifth one out.
Oh, it was. Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, there's your win for the day.
Exactly. Yeah, it was. I'm actually really glad I got on the plane.
Yeah.
Because that had to make us, traverse from one terminal to the other too. So
Yeah, that would be annoying to have to go pick your bag up.
Today.
Yeah.
Or whenever. Decide to show. Mm. Yeah. No, I'm glad it made it with me. So anyway, it was an adventure. Not the one I anticipated yesterday.
What a journey.
What a journey. And I will say, part of the reason I really don't like connection flights.
The moral of the story, do not book a connection flight with Laura.
Yes. I mean, sometimes you have to do it because the cost difference is just not, you just can't, you can't justify that.
Yeah.
And I would never, I'm not bougie enough to be, to say I need to spend an extra $500 for a flight because it's nonstop. But I would say if I have a choice, always going to fly nonstop if I can. Because
it's like your life motto, nonstop.
Nonstop. Just gotta keep going.
Just keep swimming.
Just keep swimming.
All right.
All right. So to end today, one thing that we haven't done in quite a while, well, maybe a few weeks, is we haven't done a card pull.
Mm-hmm.
And I really like doing card pulls. So I wanted to end that way today, if that's okay with you.
Yeah. I'm shuffling some.
Okay. Yep. So since we're kind of seated across and we got the video going, we each have our own little stack.
Boom.
Boom.
Yep.
So we're going to shuffle and grab one, and then we'll get to share what quote we have for the day.
I grabbed one.
You have one already. All right. Let me see. I'm going to grab this one.
Okay.
What's on your card?
I'm going to have to start bringing my readers over.
Do you want these ones?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
All right. Mine says, don't be afraid to take a big step, ... You can't cross a chasm in 2 small jumps.
Ooh.
Ooh, interesting. David Lloyd George.
Okay.
I'll have to look up who that is.
Yeah.
Yeah. That goes kind of against kind of my mindset for the last few years, which is just like one small step will get me to where I want to go. But yeah, sometimes you gotta kind of dare yourself a little bit.
Yeah.
Like to dare to lead is kind of in my head from us talking about strong ground and stuff. And so sometimes you just got to take that leap, right?
Yep.
And so I like that.
Yeah, I really like that too.
Yeah.
Okay, and mine is Celebrate Any Progress. Don't Wait to Get Perfect by Anne McGee Cooper.
Ooh, that's a really good one for me to
Mm-hmm.
hear.
Yep. Well, I think it aligns a lot with our episode today too we talked about the process and the highs and the lows and the hope and the despair. And it didn't have to be a perfect journey for me to get home.
Right.
Right?
Right.
But it just simply was the journey. It was the process.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. Nothing's often a straight line unless you're looking back in hindsight. Right. Like I love those kind of graphics where you see like people do those animations where like, what you think your trajectory is going to be like up and to the right,
Right.
But what reality is just like it's a winding river, and sometimes they double back on each other. And so, yeah. Yep. And sometimes you got to take a leap, not knowing what the next one step is kind of thing.
Exactly.
Cool.
Just go for it.
All right. Wrap it up.
Sounds good.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Love you.
I love you too.
Good.
I'm glad I'm home.
Me too. You have to leave in like 20 minutes.
I know.
That'll be great.
Yeah.
All right. See ya.
See ya.